Chokher Bali is a wonderful, wonderful novel by Rabindranath Tagore. And it's hard to believe, but given the kind of theatre we do, we haven't actually done any Tagore so far. So that is an omission that we are going to correct with Chokher Bali. I have always wanted to do a Tagore play, and this one turned out to be the first one because our director, Tannistha Mukherjee, believed in this play. She brought it to me, and she was very excited about the prospect of doing this. And that's what I like. I like that when our directors are excited about a certain play, it generally turns out to be a good one. So this play is actually, it's been done in Bangla, in Kolkata. I believe the English translation of it has been done only once in New York. Somehow Tannistha got wind of this, and she found out about this, the existence of this script, and she was really so she says she has read Chokher Bali like an average of once a year ever since she got to an age where she could read it. So she knows the story inside out, the characters inside out. Tannistha this is not her first time directing for us. She directed Aadhe Adhure, which is a very successful show, which was critically acclaimed, and I had just no doubts in my mind that Chokher Bali was going to be safe in her hands. Yeah, so actually Tagore was a very modern writer. He broke away from the existing the literary styles of the time in Bengal, in India in fact. And Chokher Bali is a very modern story. It's a love story. It's about love and loss, and it's also set in a time when it's kind of hard to believe what Bengal was like at the turn of the century, the 20th century. It was very patriarchal. Society was very patriarchal. The status of women was abysmally low, especially widows, abysmally low, right? And they were, besides the fact that they had to, dress in white and eat one meal a day and all kinds of other restrictions on themselves. Some of them were, there was a practice of sati. And in fact, there was a movement, the Brahmo Samaj movement, which also became a faith, the Brahmo faith, which started in response to some of these practices. So Raja Rammohan Rai started it, and then Rabindranath Tagore's father was one of the early members of the Brahmo movement, and so there are in the play mentions Brahmo Samaj. Bihari is part of the Brahmo Samaj movement. He goes to their meetings and so on, and that was the setting. The things were changing, but they hadn't changed entirely, right? But this is at the turn of the century, so 50 years have gone by, but things have not changed that much. But it's kind of acceptable to think about widow remarriage and so on. I have a personal connection here because on my mother's side, I'm Bengali, and my maternal grandfather's direct ancestors, male ancestors, were all, part of the Brahmo Samaj movement. In fact, my maternal grandfather's grandfather, Durga Narayan Boshu, was perhaps one of the first men to marry a widow. So he was actually greatly influenced by his brother, Rajnarayan Boshu, Rishi Rajnarayan Boshu, and so he was actually his first cousin. They lived in a joint family. He was greatly influenced by him, and on Rajnarayan Boshu's recommendation or insistence, Durga Narayan Boshu actually married a widow. So I'm a descendant of one of the first widow remarriages in Bengal, and in my family both on my maternal grandfather's side as well as my maternal grandmother's side are Brahmo to this date. So it's a very, the connection is personal in that respect. So I'm really glad to be bringing, and this is the kind of theater we like to do. I mean, yes, it's not about today's society, but patriarchy in India hasn't gone away, right? It's just taken different forms, and to be able to sort of shine a light on this is just terrific. And it's a beautiful story. It's beautiful, even without, if you strip away everything else. It's just the beauty in the relationships and the way they've been depicted, and the way Tannistha is actually doing it. It's going to be a stunning, beautiful show. So I hope people come and watch it.